They shake your hand, smile at you, maybe even throw in a compliment. But something feels off. You can't quite explain it. It's not in their words, but in the pauses between them. It's the way their jokes land a little too hard. The way your successes are met with silence, and how they somehow always forget to include you. Dislike doesn't always come wrapped in open hostility. More often, it hides in politeness, in fake laughter, in the subtle act of being present, but never truly supportive. In this video, we're going beneath the surface. We'll uncover 8 subtle signs that someone secretly resents you, even when they pretend otherwise. These behaviors can be hard to spot at first, but once you know what to look for, they're impossible to ignore. More importantly, we'll show you how to respond, not with anger or overreaction, but with clarity, self-respect, and the grounded wisdom of Stoic philosophy. Because when you recognize quiet hostility for what it is, you no longer fall into the trap of chasing approval. Instead, you protect your energy, set firm boundaries, and walk away from false connections with peace of mind. Number 1. Masking insults as jokes. One of the most insidious signs that someone secretly dislikes you is when they disguise their insults as jokes. On the surface, it looks like harmless teasing, a bit of humor, a casual remark meant to be lighthearted. But if you listen carefully, the laughter often feels forced. The words carry a subtle sting, and the jokes repeatedly target your weaknesses, mistakes, or insecurities. This behavior is not accidental or playful. It is a deliberate tactic to undermine your confidence while maintaining plausible deniability. The moment you challenge them, they retreat behind the excuse, "Relax, I'm just joking." But as the Stoics teach us, not all humor is virtuous. Seneca warned that cruelty often hides behind wit, and that the wise person must discern when humor becomes a weapon. When humor is used to belittle, it violates the Stoic principle of justice, treating others fairly and with respect. This behavior reveals far more about the offender than it does about you. It exposes their insecurity and need for control, silent attempt to elevate themselves by diminishing others. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that external events and others' opinions lie beyond our control. What we control is our response, our judgment, and how we choose to act. The Stoic does not react with anger, nor do they absorb the insult as truth. Instead, they meet such behavior with calm assertiveness. Setting clear boundaries is essential. This means communicating, quietly but firmly, that you will not tolerate jokes or remarks that degrade your dignity. You do not have to engage or respond with counterattacks. Simply refusing to accept disrespect reclaims your power. By doing so, you protect your inner tranquility, which the Stoics hold as the highest good. Epictetus teaches that we should concern ourselves only with what is within our power, chiefly our own mind and actions. When you refuse to let veiled insults penetrate your self-worth, you embody true freedom and strength. This disciplined self-respect disrupts the cycle of subtle hostility. The other person must either stop or reveal their true feelings openly. Either outcome brings clarity and releases you from the exhausting uncertainty of hidden animosity. In essence, recognizing and addressing this form of masked insult is an act of Stoic courage. It is choosing to stand firm in your values and protect your peace, rather than being dragged into petty power struggles or emotional turmoil. You affirm that your worth is inherent and not dependent on the approval or mockery of others. This is the profound lesson. True strength lies in controlling yourself, not controlling others, and in maintaining your dignity regardless of the games others play. Through this awareness and boundary setting, you cultivate an inner fortress, impervious to the subtle poison of disguised insults. Number 2, praising you to belittle you. Another subtle sign that someone harbors hidden dislike is when their praise feels more like a trap than genuine appreciation. These backhanded compliments are carefully crafted to undermine your confidence, while appearing polite on the surface. They might say things like, "Wow, I didn't expect you to pull that off," or, "For someone like you, that's impressive." At first it may sound flattering, but beneath the words lies condescension and doubt. The compliment becomes a veiled insult, implying that your achievements are surprising or undeserved. From a Stoic viewpoint, this is a form of passive aggression, designed to assert superiority while maintaining plausible deniability. It plays on your insecurities and tries to destabilize your self-worth without overt confrontation. The Stoics teach us to develop an unshakable inner fortress, where our value does not depend on others' opinions, whether positive or negative. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that what truly matters is the virtue we cultivate within ourselves, not the fleeting judgments of others. When faced with backhanded compliments, the wise do not internalize the hidden slight or respond with irritation. Instead, they meet it with calm precision. This means observing the comment dispassionately, refusing to let it disrupt your peace, and if appropriate, seeking clarity by calmly questioning the intention behind the praise. By doing so, you force the person to confront their true feelings instead of hiding behind sarcasm or passive hostility. This approach serves two purposes. First, it protects your self-respect by refusing to accept disguised disrespect. Second, it sets a boundary that discourages future attempts to undermine you covertly. You reclaim control over how you perceive yourself and how much power you grant others over your emotions. The Stoics emphasize that our judgments create our suffering. By mastering your judgment and refusing to take such compliments at face value, you guard your tranquility and prevent emotional disturbance. Ultimately, recognizing and responding to backhanded compliments with calm, measured awareness reflects the Stoic ideal of living in accordance with reason and virtue. It frees you from the exhausting need to prove yourself to others and anchors you firmly in self-worth that is independent of external validation. In this way, you maintain your dignity and protect your peace, regardless of the veiled critiques hidden behind seemingly kind words. Number 3, leaving you out without a word. One of the most hurtful and subtle signs that someone secretly dislikes you is when they exclude you silently, leaving you out of social gatherings, conversations, or important decisions without any explanation or acknowledgement. Unlike open conflict, which is at least direct and clear, this silent exclusion is a form of passive aggression that leaves you guessing. You are left to wonder why you were not invited, why your presence seems unwanted, and whether you have done something wrong. This ambiguity creates a psychological burden, stirring feelings of confusion, self-doubt, and isolation. The Stoics teach us that mental clarity and tranquility are fundamental to a good life. Confusion and uncertainty are poisons to the mind. They disrupt our inner peace and distract us from reason. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of seeking truth and living in accordance with nature, which includes honesty, openness, and straightforwardness. When you find yourself repeatedly excluded without reason, the Stoic response is not to stew in resentment or despair, but to confront the situation with calm courage. This means approaching the person or group with honest and composed inquiry, simply asking, "I noticed I wasn't included recently. Is there a reason?" This act is not about demanding justification or blaming, but about cutting through the fog of silence to gain clarity. By doing so, you refuse to be trapped in the uncertainty that drains your energy and peace of mind. You demonstrate that you value honesty and transparency over manipulation and passive cruelty. Moreover, the Stoic understands that not every relationship is meant to endure, especially when it is laced with deception or disrespect. Epictetus reminds us that we cannot control others' choices or feelings, only our own judgments and responses. If your inquiry reveals that the exclusion is intentional and persistent, it serves as a signal to release your attachment to that relationship. Continuing to invest emotional energy in people who deliberately shut you out only undermines your tranquility and self-worth. Instead, choose to focus on connections where mutual respect and openness prevail. This process of seeking clarity, setting boundaries, and choosing your associations wisely is an exercise in Stoic wisdom and resilience. It requires courage to face uncomfortable truths and the discipline to detach from relationships that harm your inner peace. By refusing to tolerate silent exclusion, you reclaim your dignity and protect your mind from needless suffering. So, this way, the hidden dislike behind silent exclusion becomes an opportunity to practice virtue, courage, honesty, and self-respect, and to build a life rooted in clarity and tranquility. Number 4, making time for everyone but you. One of the quieter but deeply telling signs that someone harbors dislike for you, while keeping it hidden behind a polite facade, is when they consistently make time for everyone else but you. You observe how they eagerly respond to others' messages, attend social events with everyone but you, and prioritize others' needs with apparent ease. Yet when you reach out or seek their attention, they are habitually too busy, caught up with other things, or unavailable. This pattern of selective availability is a subtle but powerful way to communicate disinterest and exclusion without saying a word. From a Stoic perspective, time is the most valuable currency we possess. Marcus Aurelius poignantly reminds us that our lives are brief, and how we allocate our time reveals what we truly value. When someone repeatedly denies you their time, they are quietly signaling that you do not rank high on their list of priorities. Stoicism teaches us that we must protect our own time and energy carefully. It is a virtue to invest these precious resources only in relationships that are reciprocal, meaningful, and nourishing to the soul. To persistently chase after the attention or approval of someone who withholds it is to waste energy on what is beyond our control. Epictetus, in his teachings, emphasized the importance of focusing solely on what lies within our power, our own judgments, actions, and attitudes, not on others' feelings, choices, or availability. When you recognize this pattern of exclusion, the truly wise and virtuous response is to cease the futile effort of seeking their time or validation. Instead, redirect your efforts and presence toward those who genuinely invest in you and whose companionship offers mutual respect and warmth. This redirection is more than practical advice. It is an act of profound self-respect and preservation of your inner tranquility. It shields you from the exhausting, demoralizing cycle of hoping for recognition from those who consistently withhold it. It also aligns perfectly with the Stoic ideal of living authentically, honoring your dignity, and refusing to degrade yourself, to fit the fleeting whims or neglect of others. By consciously choosing where and with whom you spend your time, you foster a life built on genuine connection, reciprocal respect, and emotional resilience. Moreover, this awareness invites a deeper acceptance of reality, a key Stoic principle. Recognizing that someone makes time for everyone but you is not a cause for bitterness or resentment. It is a call to detach from false hopes and illusions. It teaches you to embrace what is, without denial or complaint, and to channel your emotional energy into relationships and pursuits that truly matter. In this way, you cultivate wisdom, patience, and courage, the core virtues of Stoicism, while preserving your peace of mind and honoring your inherent worth. Ultimately, when you stop begging for attention and begin valuing yourself enough to walk away, you embody the Stoic path of freedom. Freedom from the chains of others' approval, and freedom to build a life of meaning and serenity on your own terms. This conscious choice transforms a painful experience of exclusion into an opportunity for growth, clarity, and self-mastery. Number 5. Withdrawing even the smallest gesture. When someone harbors dislike but chooses to mask it behind politeness, one of the most revealing and subtle signs is their withdrawal of even the smallest gestures of closeness or kindness. These tiny acts, avoiding eye contact, refraining from a handshake or a simple pat on the shoulder, stepping back when you approach, carry a powerful, silent message. They say you are not safe, not welcome, and not valued. Though these gestures may seem minor on the surface, their absence speaks volumes about the true state of the relationship. In the language of human connection, such withdrawal signals a breakdown of trust and an unspoken barrier between two people. From a Stoic perspective, human beings are naturally social creatures meant to live in harmony and mutual respect. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that we are part of a larger whole, and our actions should reflect the common good and kindness. However, when someone withdraws affection or connection, it reflects not only their feelings about you but also their inner turmoil or judgments, often clouded by bias, fear, or misunderstandings. The Stoic recognizes that while we cannot control others' opinions or actions, we can control how we interpret and respond to them. This means acknowledging the discomfort without allowing it to disturb our inner peace. To respond with Stoic wisdom, we must observe these subtle signs as clear indicators rather than ambiguous slights. By doing so, we avoid the temptation to make excuses for others or to cling desperately to relationships that drain our spirit. Epictetus taught that wisdom lies in distinguishing what is within our control, our own thoughts and choices, from what lies beyond it, the feelings and behaviors of others. When someone withdraws small gestures of kindness, it is a natural signal to reconsider where we invest our emotional energy. The Stoic path urges us to seek and nurture relationships where connection is natural, mutual, and freely given. It counsels us to step back from bonds that feel forced, strained, or uncomfortable. This is not an act of bitterness or rejection, but one of profound self-care and respect. By honoring these silent signals, we conserve our emotional resources for those who truly value us and cultivate a social environment where we can flourish authentically. Moreover, this withdrawal challenges us to cultivate inner resilience. Instead of reacting with hurt or resentment, the Stoic embraces acceptance and patience. We understand that others' withdrawal may stem from their own struggles or limitations, not from a reflection of our worth. This perspective protects us from being wounded unnecessarily and encourages compassion without attachment. Ultimately, the absence of small gestures is more than mere social etiquette. It is a window into the health of the relationship. Recognizing and accepting this truth allows us to align with the Stoic ideal of living wisely, focusing on what nourishes our soul and preserving our tranquility. It empowers us to let go gracefully and to build connections grounded in genuine respect and warmth, embodying the Stoic virtues of wisdom, courage, and serenity. Number 6. Vanishing. When it matters most. One of the most painful yet revealing signs that someone secretly dislikes you is when they disappear at moments you need them most. When hardships arise, whether emotional crises, important challenges, or moments requiring support, these people vanish without explanation or assistance. This disappearance is a powerful indicator that their support was never unconditional. It was superficial and contingent on convenience or personal gain. From a Stoic viewpoint, true friendship and loyalty are grounded in virtue and steadfastness, not in fleeting emotions or selfish interests. Marcus Aurelius taught that a person's character is revealed in adversity, both their own and how they respond to the struggles of others. When someone deserts you during difficult times, they reveal their true priorities and the limits of their goodwill. The Stoic principle here is to accept reality with clarity and without bitterness. While it is natural to feel disappointment, one must avoid allowing this loss of trust to poison the mind with anger or resentment. Instead, recognize this vanishing as a clear lesson on human nature. Not all relationships are built to withstand hardship, and some support is conditional and fragile. Epictetus emphasized focusing on what is within your control, your own virtue, judgments, and actions, rather than on the unreliable behavior of others. When faced with abandonment, the Stoic does not collapse into despair or self-pity, but strengthens their inner fortress of resilience. This involves both accepting the impermanence of some relationships and cultivating a circle of true companions who embody loyalty and virtue. Furthermore, the disappearance of support in difficult times invites deep reflection on whom we choose to trust and rely upon. It urges discernment and wisdom in building connections based on shared values and genuine care, rather than convenience or superficial charm. Such friendships enrich our lives and provide a foundation of mutual support that withstands life's inevitable storms. In releasing those who vanish when it matters most, you practice a vital Stoic lesson: to let go of attachments that disturb your peace and to protect your inner tranquility. This act of release is not surrender, but a courageous assertion of your worth and an embrace of a more authentic, serene existence. Through this, you align yourself with the Stoic ideal of living in harmony with nature and human reality, valuing true loyalty, integrity, and steadfastness above all. Number 7. Betraying you in whispers. One of the most insidious ways someone can hide their dislike is through betrayal in whispers. Sharing your private information, vulnerabilities, or even your mistakes with others behind your back. Gossip is a corrosive poison that silently eats away at trust, respect, and the foundation of any relationship. Unlike open hostility, this covert form of betrayal wounds without confrontation, leaving you feeling exposed, vulnerable, and uncertain about whom to trust. From a Stoic perspective, this behavior is a clear sign of moral weakness and a lack of virtue. Seneca, one of the great Stoics, emphasized that true friendship is founded on honesty, loyalty, and respect, and that those who betray through gossip reveal their own poor character and insecurity. Stoicism teaches that while you cannot control what others say or do, you have absolute control over how you respond. The wise person recognizes that gossip, although painful, only has the power you grant it. Epictetus reminds us that external events are indifferent. They are neither good nor bad in themselves. It is our judgment of them that causes distress. When confronted with betrayal through whispers, the Stoic chooses not to engage in tit-for-tat retaliation, which would only perpetuate the cycle of harm. Instead, you maintain your own integrity by refusing to stoop to their level, preserving your dignity and inner peace. Furthermore, gossip serves as a valuable signal, a clear indication that the person spreading it does not respect you, nor do they see you as worthy of honest and straightforward interaction. Recognizing this is empowering. It frees you from the illusion that everyone around you has your best interests at heart, and encourages you to be discerning about whom you allow into your circle. As Marcus Aurelius advised, focus your energy on those who live by virtue and who contribute positively to your life, rather than wasting it on those who seek to undermine you. The Stoic path encourages detachment, not in the sense of indifference to others, but in a mindful, intentional release of attachment to external validation or opinions. This detachment is not cold or aloof, but a profound self-protection that shields your soul from unnecessary turmoil. By removing yourself from gossipy dynamics, you safeguard your emotional and mental well-being, allowing yourself to cultivate relationships grounded in mutual respect, trust, and virtue. In the end, responding to betrayal with calm resolve and unwavering self-respect is a powerful act of Stoic wisdom. You accept that you cannot control others' behaviors, but you can control your own virtues: wisdom, patience, courage, and justice. By doing so, you rise above the petty slanders and preserve your tranquility, embodying the true freedom that Stoicism promises: freedom from being disturbed by what is outside your control, and strength in living according to your highest principles. Number 8. They mimic your successes. When someone secretly dislikes you, they may go to great lengths to imitate your successes while carefully avoiding genuine celebration of your achievements. This behavior is subtle but deeply revealing. Instead of offering sincere praise, they shadow your accomplishments, copying your ideas, style, or milestones, yet remain silent or even resentful when you receive recognition. From a Stoic point of view, this is a sign of envy and insecurity cloaked in a mask of admiration, but it lacks the warmth of true respect or goodwill. Marcus Aurelius taught that true greatness comes from virtue, not from external approval or comparison with others. When someone mimics but does not celebrate your success, it reflects their struggle with internal judgment and their inability to rejoice in the good fortune of another. The Stoic understands that such behavior arises not from your own shortcomings, but from the other person's inner turmoil. Their envy reveals more about their character than yours. Stoicism guides us to focus on our own progress, grounded in virtue and wisdom, rather than seeking validation through others' approval. Recognizing this sign allows you to maintain emotional equanimity and avoid the trap of reacting to their silent resentment. Instead of confronting them with anger or frustration, you meet their behavior with calm acceptance, understanding that their mimicry is a reflection of their internal conflict, not your worth. Moreover, this awareness invites you to cultivate genuine gratitude for your own achievements and to surround yourself with those who celebrate your growth sincerely. True friendship and respect come from mutual upliftment, not silent competition. Epictetus reminds us that the opinions of others are outside our control, and peace lies in valuing our own reasoned judgments over external noise. By observing this subtle form of hostility, you can protect your peace and self-esteem. You choose not to be dragged into their envy or bitterness, instead embodying the Stoic ideal of living according to your own principles. In this way, you transform potential poison into an opportunity for deeper self-awareness and resilience, strengthening your ability to remain serene amidst the complexities of human relationships. Thank you for watching and exploring these subtle yet powerful signs that someone may dislike you while hiding it behind a mask of politeness. Remember, the true strength lies not in changing others, but in mastering ourselves, our reactions, our boundaries, and our peace of mind. Stoicism teaches us to observe the world clearly, to accept what we cannot control, and to focus on cultivating virtue and tranquility within. When you recognize these signs, do not let bitterness or anger take root. Instead, use them as valuable lessons to protect your inner calm and to invest your energy in relationships built on respect and genuine connection. In the end, your peace is your greatest asset. Stay wise, stay resilient, and above all, stay true to yourself. Until next time, keep living with courage and clarity.